to me, the older adults, they have done so much for their family, to their country and work, and then when do age, unfortunately, at least in this context, the Mongolian context, there's limited support. The families are changing. The family, they're either working overseas, studying overseas, or they have one or two children or no children or things like that. And the after retirement, people live between 20 to 30 years sometimes, and many people struggle with role loss. They no longer have the spouse, or no longer have a job or title, where opportunity to get them have a social connection, things like that. And there's lots of change happening, and there's not enough focus and support to help them to live a good, rich and productive life. And so I'm basically preparing for my retirement. I want to be able to, when I retire, I want to be able to socialize, do what I want, and have a full and meaningful life, instead of just, feeling like nobody cares, or feeling lonely, or feeling like, not having financial resources to be able to enjoy, the last part of life on earth. So
I can see where your passion comes from, because you believe underlying all this, the assumption that, of course, we believe that these days, even if you stop working at 50 or 60, there's still plenty of life left in a person, right?
Exactly.
So they're not just retired. And the word retirement to me just sounds kind of wrong these days.
So the good thing, again, is like, if you're owning your business or running your business kind of like that, you don't have to retire. So that's the good thing. And that's what I love about the private business sector, is like, you get to control how long you work and what you work and things like that. A lot of Mongolian older adults used to work for the public sector, where it's a mandatory retirement. And after that, there is no job, and there's no, meaningful activities so there's a small pension available, but it's not enough to live on. So there's a lot of struggles. But again, what I noticed during COVID is people are very resilient, especially older people. They have gone through many things in the past, even wars and, very difficult times. So they survive, they are very resilient and strong, and they're very, they're asset. And that's, in many ways. So we just need to learn how to utilize this wonderful group of people for the, to improving their life, plus also contributing to society, because they have great experience, wisdom, and then, they are no longer have that arrogance, or, have to show themselves, so etc. like this. So they're more mature. So in a way, I love to work with them, and, start services with them together, so that they get to live a good and long and productive life. So
that's a really good goal to focus on, because not only in Mongolia, even in Malaysia, in the rest of Asia, really making sure our seniors and elders are taken care of, but at the same time, they can take care of themselves in the best possible ways, so that aging is no longer feared. Aging is just another phase of their life.